I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call please. Councilwoman Bozak. Here. Councilwoman Driggs. Here. Councilman Joe absent. Councilman McGraw.
Here.
Councilwoman McCall.
Here. Approval of minutes from February 14th, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Roll call please. Councilwoman Bozak.
Yes.
Councilwoman Driggs.
Yes.
Councilman McGraw.
Yes.
Councilwoman McCall.
Yes. Reports. Clerk Treasurer Nicole Stone in for dinner. Does she have anything?
Next week I'm going to go to Springfield for ILFCT training, so I will be out of the office Monday to Thursday. Monday to Thursday, Monday to Thursday.
Council? Do you have anything?
Not at this moment.
Steve Quinn.
I don't know if Roseanne wants to talk about Oakley Lane now or later, but I think she met with folks from Cleveland Cliffs and after that.
Yes, Jennifer and I met with Rayanne from Cleveland Cliffs and we talked to her about our friend that ghosted us in our conversations about that. I asked Clay earlier today, he said he still has not heard from Cliffs, so I will push back on that tomorrow and figure out what's happening.
So that's a call.
Town engineer, Shem. You go for us too. Just kidding. Kidding, Shem. Building commissioner, Chuck.
Yeah, things other than the February report are homes and subdivision at the village will be starting shortly. The cleanup has begun on property at the intersection of 149 and 20. And Shady Side South Trailer Park has been moving dirt. They should be coming in for the permitting and paperwork shortly for the expansion on that. That's all. Sending my report.
Thank you. Brandon, street department.
Let's see, I'm gonna start with, this year's brush pickup. It's gonna be beginning April 1st, on Monday. It will end on November 11th. Also, that Tuesday, April 2nd, we'll have a, one-day spring leaf pickup for everybody who's got leaves. I see there's quite a bit out there.
Was it April 2nd?
April 2nd, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. The street department was notified of a tree hazard in the park area in Corlins Landing a few days ago. We had investigated the issue, found a large tree branch, realized it was a danger. I hear there's kids that play in the park. We handled it, didn't have to call anybody for it, so the entire tree was cleaned up and that's done with. The street department, we marked 5 trees at Shadyside Park that are supposed to be removed by Cleveland Cliffs. We talked to Rianne about that. She helped me locate those trees and hopefully those can get cut down because they're a danger to all the homes right there on Oakley Lane.
Did she give you a better timeline? I know that they were
No,
on
just-
another job currently. She said maybe the end of this week.
yeah, because I went there this week and I haven't seen anything done yet, so
Okay.
I'm unaware of when.
Okay, so she said that she would coordinate with you when they're coming back to.
Okay, I'll go talk to her tomorrow, but I haven't yet to hear anything. Cleveland Cliffs is kind of, you know.
Yeah, we're trying to bring that
Right,
back
right,
in, so
yeah, absolutely.
we'll utilize her as much as possible.
I've reached out to Cleveland Cliffs, the community relations representative, Rianne, I think her name is also, about possibly getting a donation for the town for the trail maintenance, future trail maintenance, and, she got my letter and, the quotes and the prices, so she will be getting back to me as soon as she talks with her team. So we're just waiting that, hopefully it's good news, so we shall see. As the weather starts changing, we're gonna start doing trash pickup, road pickup, all that stuff. We do that before we mow and everything, so we're not causing, problems with our equipment, running stuff over. God knows what people throw out on the side of the road, so that'll be starting soon. And as it may look like winter's over, we don't know yet, but we are still ready and prepared for anything to come our way. You never know.
Can I throw something at them?
Right?
Hey,
Yeah,
you can try, you can try.
March 1998. I won't forget.
Got it.
Absolutely.
Got
But again, we're ready, we got plenty of salt, plows are ready to go, if anything, hopefully not. Other than that, for the street department. I think that's about sums it up, just getting ready for spring and. Yeah, about it.
Thank you.
Any questions?
No, I'm good.
hopefully we hear about that grant, or you hear about that grant first. I know that Rayanne said they were trying to get us in for this round, but.
Fingers crossed.
Yes,
So
I'll take a little help, that's good.
yes.
Great, Brian.
He gave you guys the February report already in front of you. Breaks it down, I've got a breakdown between training hours and total man hours between.
She skipped over to me, so
No,
it's
go ahead.
funny to me, sorry.
Oh, I'm
No, I'm so sorry, I
You don't deal with
couldn't
that.
control my laughter. And I looked at
No,
his
I yield
face.
my time.
The floor is yours.
And I even checked him off like he was done.
It's way too early for that, let's go.
Very uneventful February, in my opinion, only 28 calls for emergency services, 19 of them being EMS related, and 6 mutual aid calls. I do have a letter here from the Hobart Fire Chief. The city made an offer for our ambulance of $40,000. I think that's a very fair price, and they are actually in desperate need for it. Their reserve ambulance is out of service. So all of their frontline ambulances are in use. If one goes down, they're out. So they're trying to move on this fairly quickly. I don't know the steps from here on out for drawing up resolutions between the two government bodies. But
There have to be mirroring resolutions essentially to say the same thing, that we're selling this piece of equipment for X amount or trading it for, for property in this case. Set some, and then if it's the Hobart Town Council or City Council would have to pass a similar resolution.
Okay, so do you know when they meet again? Do you have any idea?
no, but I'm in contact with Chief Lopez and figure something out, get together, try to start moving on it as soon as possible. If you guys are okay with that.
So do we need to like make a motion to approve this?
Well, it would
We're
be in the
moving
form of a
forward?
resolution, I mean, I
Oh,
think
okay.
if
Can we create that now?
you, I mean, you can direct Ryan and me to move forward with that.
Mhm.
And obviously, we don't meet again for what, 4 or 5 weeks because of the, I don't know if there's 5 Wednesdays.
I don't know.
It's the 10th.
1, 2, 3, 4, 4 weeks.
So we meet in 4 weeks, I don't know if they're wanting something sooner.
I think they are looking to try to move on it as soon as possible.
And so if they do, you can always schedule a special meeting. And as long as 3 of you are here in person, others can be remote. To agree to this. But again, that's your choice.
And how quick can we move on it?
I can draft a resolution, but the Hobart City Council will have to have a resolution as well.
Well, I would assume if they are also in a hurry, they would
Yeah,
get it
And they
moving
might have
faster.
more staff during the week on payroll working.
and
Might
if
be a
you,
quicker time.
right, if you wanna email this to me along with information on the vehicle,
We
make
need to
model, and all
literally
that
have
stuff,
social
I'm sure I have it
media.
elsewhere, but
Yeah.
just to make it quicker, cause I've done That's before the town when we traded something. I don't know if Roseanne was on the council then when we traded something with Chesterton.
Yeah,
And it was trading. I don't even know if there's any money exchanged in that one.
I don't think so. Was that the one that was for the radios? Was it the radios?
It's the previous ambulance.
Our old ambulance went to Chesterton, I
And
believe
rescue
we
truck.
acquired their rescue truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it
Or
was.
whatever.
So we put the VIN, both VIN numbers, but in this case, it would just be one item with the VIN number for X amount of dollars.
We'll make a motion that we authorize the fire chief Mackey and the attorney to proceed with making a resolution between the two towns. And acceptance of this letter.
I second.
And then we'll have a special meeting to get it moved. Roll call.
Is-
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No.
So just you would just communicate with Lisa and let her know when they're, when we need to run it, so we can get that.
Jen and I were both CC'd on an email, we were all talking about it, so we could just keep that email going.
Yeah, and then just, let us know when we need to
We
have
can
a special
figure it
meeting.
out, yeah.
I guess I would just ask, I think that when it was listed at least once, if not twice, for bids, the items were taken off of the truck that could still be used, and so I just wanna make sure that Over's not thinking that that truck has all of that equipment.
When they came and originally looked at it, the only equipment that's in the vehicle still is the cot.
Okay,
And our fire department radio system is coming on. There are still 2 radios in the truck, but I don't even think they would work on Hobart City's radio system.
I would just, before we get too far down the road, clarify with them what is and is not a part of this purchase, this exchange, so they don't show up after this is all with a
Looking for a
check.
fully stocked.
And they're like, where's this piece of it, where's that, where's?
So a lot of the stuff that was on the truck had to come off because it had met its expiration dates anyways.
Okay.
So do we need like an itemized list basically of,
I don't think so, I would have to go back and look at what the listing request for bid said, because I think that that's probably, essentially what we're selling them, but if there's other things that they, especially if they came and looked at it and saw equipment in there and now that's not there. Just so they,
Everything they came and looked at is still in the vehicle now.
and is gonna be part
And
of the
it's gonna
sale,
be there when it's,
okay.
Okay.
And this says that they were counter offering
they
$40,000.
had made an original offer of 35.
Did you,
We communicated
did you give a number to the 35?
40 to 45.
45, and then they came back at 40, okay. That's fine, I just wanna make sure.
Okay.
that-
Yeah.
Roll call.
I think that's where we're at.
Yeah, I feel like you're so far down there, we're all like crammed on this side.
Here we go.
Councilwoman Bozak,
Yes.
Councilwoman Driggs.
yes,
Councilwoman Jordan is absent, Councilman McGraw,
Yes.
Councilwoman McCarthy.
Yes.
On that note, if this does go through, everything's great, is there any way that the fire department could earmark those funds for future use? And I understand it can't go into my budget, but if we can earmark it, cause I've got mechanical issues on the ladder truck that I think are gonna.
I would need clarification on what those funds are allowed
Where
to
they
be used
came
for.
from.
They would have to be returned to the CCD.
Is that where it came from?
That you need to, yep.
I sent Jane an email, but I was trying to find, oh, there it is, yeah. So I have to go back to the CCD fund,
So then if you
that's what
need
purchased the.
stuff other than that, then you would just need to bring that here and we can figure out where to find money.
Fantastic.
I can see.
On a better note, the tires on the ladder truck are on, we're to go there, and the steps were put on the cab yesterday, and I got that back today. And we're all good to go.
So nobody should be falling off.
Wow.
I mean, in theory, yes.
Ryan found.
The rescue truck was out of service for approximately 3 or 4 days. one of my firefighters and our go-to mechanic, and I mean, not just the fire department, but all of us go to Rick. Cause he's amazing at what he does. He rebuilt the steering gearbox on the truck that we acquired from Chesterton. We did it last night in Brandon's shop,
Bless you.
and we had it placed back on the truck and in working order last night. So we're back up and running. Other than that, I have nothing.
All right,
We'll go back to your.
oh, Jeremy, I'm sorry, your turn.
Yeah, my report, everything's in there. I mean, it wasn't a very eventful February, so that's okay. The question I had the last council meeting was the intention with the 2015 Ford PI utility, what we were gonna do with it. Because the 2024 truck is in and ready to be delivered. The trade-in value that they offered us was $3,000 for the 2015 Explorer.
How much?
$3,000.
Oh,
It is my opinion that that is an extremely low number in comparison.
yikes.
I'd rather put it out for bid. If we need to do a closed bid auction or however we need to do that, I think we need to advertise that and sell it outright. I've seen similar trucks priced anywhere from $5,000 to $11,000 with similar mileages and things like that of what we have.
Do we need to make a motion to put that out for bid, Clay? Sorry, I feel like we always ask you on everything, do we need a motion?
Yeah, we should.
Okay, I'll make a motion to put that police vehicle up for closed bid auction.
Second.
Discussion,
Is this a closed bid or open bid or just?
I said closed bid, yeah. Roll call, please.
Sorry.
Okay. okay,
Councilwoman Bozak,
Yes.
Councilwoman Driggs,
Yes.
Councilman McGraw,
Yes.
Councilwoman McCall.
abstain.
So other than that, I will be contacting Ford and be taking delivery of that vehicle probably tomorrow, the 2024. There is one purchase order that is sitting on the table in there in regards to equipment that we need to be purchased for the new vehicle still. And then the other two purchase orders are to address the difference that was approved last month for our physicals and psych evaluations that needed to be done. I mean, I can touch on that later a little bit, but the physicals came in at $520 per officer. The psych evaluations were $395 per officer, which exceeded the originally approved $3,500. Both purchase orders are on the desk to address that. It's all coming on my budget and the money's there. And then I went to the Duneland Exchange Club meeting. I was invited there on the 7th of this month, and we received a donation from the Duneland Exchange Club in the amount of $500. And that's all I got.
Good job. Sorry.
I got an item down at the bottom.
Oh, of course you do.
Sorry, we're still doing good.
Sanitation, your turn. Well, I don't know, because I'm just check marking things and
No, it's okay.
I.
So obviously, Friday was our very first of the season, heavy rain event, very heavy rain event. That did wreak havoc with our system. I had an overflow on lift station 2 that had caused some over spillage. So we had to fill out an item report, it's self-reporting that we've had an overflow. Keep in mind, all the pumps were running, so there was no outages per se as far as lift stations. So I was out here so the heavy rain started about 3. I got first call at 6, just before 6, and I didn't leave here until 2 o'clock the next morning when all the stations finally returned to normal. Do that. So I had John from Superior Pumping out with me just to make sure that my prognosis was the same, and it was the fact that it was just the infiltration that we were getting.
was just so great that the pumps weren't keeping up. So it started at lift station 3 first, which I don't get that because that has the less amount of manholes than everybody else. So it started lift station 3, then it went to 2, and then later on they lift station 6, which covers Cornell's Landing, finally chimed in and said, hey, I'm getting full myself, so. But with that being said, only one lift station, there was nothing to do at that point in time except keep the lid closed. No solids were released, it was just liquids. And it did not go directly into the creek, it actually ran across Westport Road into the wetland area, and then obviously was filtered and went out. Monday, I walked the creek line there and found no dead fish, marine life, or anything of that nature. So that's a positive. There's no erosion into the creek as far as that goes, coming from us, and that's also another positive too. Starter motors were supposed to be replaced today. Something came up and John could not be out here to do that. So they're scheduled to be put in next week.
On what?
On number 5, that was part of the report that came in, to replace the starter motors on 5.
Okay.
And I also, and I was gonna bring this up tomorrow or next week, next week's meeting is I'm gonna replace one of them in lift station 2. Pump 1 just kept kicking out. So
Would that,
it still pumped, but it pumped for so long, and then once it got hot, it kicks out, once it cools down, it kicks in again.
so is that
so-
part of the problem here? Like, how can we change the, like,
So
if we need to change
I
this, doesn't happen?
think it was part of the problem too, is if you actually look at how the station operates. When I have both, you have the pumps that pump out into 2 pipes and you pump in the next well, which is where the 2 valves are at. All right, the valves are basically, they're gravity valves, so once they receive pressure, they open up, and when they decrease pressure, they go down. The problem when we're pumping out in volume, so, and that's both pumps pumping at one time, one will overpower the other, so the other one will not fully open. 2, we're fighting the head pressure of the whole line going uphill and into the plant. So keep in mind that line from number 2 goes to the creek, goes down 150 feet under the creek, and then comes back again, and then climbs that whole topography there all the way to the mill. So we're fighting head pressure too. So me and Jim got some a lot of discussions to have, and I don't think that don't get me wrong, Jim and Jeanette have been a great help. They've helped me with the paperwork as far as the IDEM thing and everything, so we got to talking to do. 2 was, we need to start doing when it gets to be the point where it's like we can't handle it no more, we gotta look at options of pumping it out. If we call out a sucker truck, an emergency, how long is it gonna take them to get here? How long do I have from the time they get full to go dump? Do I have access to the mill in immediate, right, today, or last minute notice to go dump it? Or do we need to make preparations ahead of time? So that, there's a lot of unanswered questions, and me and Shem and Greg, I want to say this for the sanitation meeting. So we got a lot of
We
talking.
can dig into it more.
Yeah, so jetting the lines is gonna be starting in a week or 2. We're gonna be jetting the lines in Carroll Street, Cornell's Landing. So we'll be they'll be seeing some, the residents will be seeing some door hangers be placed on their doors to keep their toilet lids closed. We don't want anything shooting back up into their thing. We'll be blowing those at low pressure. North Salt Creek Road, we need to get that one done, and we're gonna do another one on South Salt Creek over by Andy Scott's place of business.
Okay.
And get that one cleaned out. And we're gonna start scheduling the April cleanouts of the lift stations. So that's coming out. So that is the bulk of what's going on in the sanitation department. I will say that these past couple weeks, have been busy. So it's not a lot of idle time. I know that I'm not supposed to work a certain amount of hours over. Unfortunately, this week with locates and other obligations that the sec's gonna have to do, I cracked those 32 hours. I cracked 32 hours on the first pay and the 32 hours on the second pay. The second 32 hours is due to call out. It's getting busy. It's getting busy now that the weather's getting better. So between having to go, I got 40 hours to do locates, and I got other obligations where I got to talk to the contractors or the developers as far as plans and so forth. It's getting a little hectic, so trying to make it work.
Going forward, if you reach out, or I know this was discussed a while back about training somebody else when you're not available to do these jobs. I know we've been using the street department, but again, they're gonna be coming up, getting into their busy season. Do we have somebody as a backup, or is there?
He has reached out to me about hiring somebody, and I said we still need to discuss it because we are still paying 3 employees from the street department, part of their salary. So we need to work something out.
That was my question.
Yeah, and then in hopes that, I don't know how soon we can move to a public works,
And it's
So,
an upward process.
we still need to sit down and move numbers around. So,
That's all my question
Yeah.
at this point. And are you requesting when you need to go over overtime or over your 40 hours, are you requesting to your liaison or somebody on the council that you need to do this?
Well, usually if it's a call out, I believe is understandable. If we go over, it's because of that. Now, granted, I hate to talk statute or anything like that. That's what we pay Clay to do. As David says, I'm okay if I hit it once in a while, but I cannot constantly keep going over or actually it's 30 or 28 hours or 25, whatever, 30 hours, I think it's just shy of 30 hours.
I think it's 28.
20, yeah, so
28.75.
purposes.
for insurance
Yeah.
purposes.
So same thing with Michelle, because she was part-time with us, is that I just had to keep her below 30 hours. So she was at 29.75. Jane Jordan was okay with that, and that was it was our insurance was the issue, is that our insurance company deemed somebody a full-time if they regularly exceeded that.
Correct,
They're-
yeah.
It's
But
your
on
average hours.
occasion,
So,
Yeah,
right, so, and don't be wrong, I'm not trying to cause any kind of, undue, burden on the town, it's just, there are, again, rare occasions where that might happen, and for future, I will, reach out and let you know, because like I say, when I'm on the call out, first thing after I got a moment to say, hey, this is what's going on, I reached out to my
You did.
liaison and says, this is what's going on, so.
One thing's that the family totally understand that. I just
Right.
wanted to get some type of procedure in place, so we are understanding as a council.
Correct, no, I firmly agree, and, so that's where we're at, so it's not going to be a habit, but unfortunately, this was one of those times it did, so. That's it, that's it for me.
all right, stormwater,
All right.
he's excited.
Yeah, super. Me and Ann have been speaking with Tony Putman. He's been doing a lot of work around town, and we let him know that he needs to be keeping up with MS4 procedures around job sites such as fencing, socks, making sure the erosion, everything's in place around properties. We're not there to yell at them or, just get mean. We're there to help them.
Yeah.
We're learning too. So, we give them time to do some things. They've been keeping up on their daily MS4 reports. They've all been emailed to me. They're supposed to track it, I think, every 2 weeks or something like that, every week. So I had all those, and they're continually doing the things they're supposed to do. Hagler Road and Westport Road have been checked out by the camera and documented on a USB drive that a few of us got by Met's Plumbing. Plans to fix the areas in the system and flushing are in the works. We're gonna be finding out what needs to be done in that step. And I wanna talk about street sweeping for this year. I was gonna bring it up in this meeting, not next, just so we can get the ball rolling on that. I didn't print out something for everybody, but again, this is last year's fall quote, 3,200, and this is the new quote of 3,500 for this year. Obviously, prices go up everywhere you look.
And this is to rent it for you.
Rent
guys
it
to
for
do
a
it.
week, yep. It's the same machine we used last fall. We know how to operate it, clean it, fuel it. BEC has been there for us. I reached out to a few other places such as Homewood Disposal, Commercial Sweeping Services, and a few others. I have not received anything back. A lot of people don't, it just seems like they don't like to rent out street sweepers without drivers and all that. And as we learned last time, I think 2 years ago, we tried that, and it was pretty pricey. It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
So I think that's the way to go. Me and Mike, like I said, we have quite a few hours on it. We know how to do it. I would like to get a purchase order going to get signed, and then I would like to schedule it towards late April to make sure we have the machine. As being MS4 compliant, we have to do it. And,
So are you, didn't we have to do something with the insurance prior to using that and you're all set and know what you need to do there?
I would,
That's a real good direction, right?
Well, and would it be easier this year, because we've already used that?
yeah, we've already
Yeah.
used this, so that would be something I'd probably ask Jane about. But everything should be just ready to go. And then I talked to, Kelly Hall from the Department of Environmental Management, and then John Schneidberg from Justin about getting rid of the hazard waste.
Okay,
And I was told that it can just be put right in our dumpster for our local garbage man to pick up. There's no special, nothing.
Okay.
You know, there's no extra special dumpster to rent or nothing, it just goes right in our trash.
and you spoke to them over email on that?
Yes.
Okay.
You already have it in
I
writing
absolutely
somewhere.
right.
Okay.
I'll involve it with everything when I talk to Jane about insurance, but yeah, it's there.
One thing that was noticed on this quote, that it actually expires at 3/16, which is next week.
Yeah, I gotta talk to Adam about that, so that's why I was trying to get this thing rolling, yeah, but it's the same Friday.
That's Saturday.
Yeah.
Before, so that would need to be updated on if we do go forward with this.
Absolutely.
So there's a motion, make a motion to move forward with the street sweeping.
Put in their corrected expiration date
Yeah, I will
in the motion.
get a new date tomorrow.
Yep, we get a new quote with a better expiration date.
Same price.
Oh, that's absolutely, yeah, I gotta talk to
I'll
Adam
take 34.99.
tomorrow. And I'll have Adam send that to me tomorrow.
Not
For the
to
next 10
exceed
years.
3,500.
Yes.
Second.
Any other discussion?
Roll call, please.
Bozak,
I don't need that.
Yes.
Councilwoman Draves.
Yes.
Councilman McGraw.
Yes.
Councilwoman McGraw.
Was that me? Yes, sorry.
Alright, sorry, I was distracting her.
That's
You're good, I'm trying to get it all down.
Also on April 19th, me, Adam, and Shem, March, I'm sorry. Sorry. We'll be meeting at the firehouse for MS4 meeting. We'll actually sit down and just talk about everything we need to. Like I said, it's all new, so we're trying to learn everything we can. Shem's a very good help. He knows a lot.
Can you CC me that? I'd like to attend that meeting.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
For you guys to have a meeting.
That is it. We've been keeping up with all the storm drain cleanings and everything. They all should be cleaned out for our upcoming rain tomorrow. Yeah, just hopefully we stick with them.
Well, hopefully we don't have a lift station. All our lift
Yes.
stations.
Hopefully it's just
Keep up.
quiet.
Brandon's on call for that for tomorrow.
Okay, sorry.
That's all, part of the job. Other than that, for stormwater, that's it.
Okay,
That's it.
thank you.
Hi, just a couple things. This Saturday is the park's annual Easter egg hunt. Both the spectacular and the general egg hunt will start at 2 o'clock sharp. Sharp.
And they are right at 2 o'clock.
Yeah,
I'm so confused.
Saturday, this coming Saturday,
Yeah.
yes.
As in a few days.
As in like, yeah.
He's like, oh God, I gotta change my plans.
Expiration date on this thing. 16th.
And I believe the Easter Bunny will be making an appearance.
I heard he was.
Yeah, if anybody has any questions, please contact him, the park director. Too. Also, as I mentioned last meeting, the park was chosen for the Rebuilding Together Duneland. It's on April 27th. As of right now, I don't have any more information. As it comes, I will let you know. There will be on like Facebook, you click on that and then you go to that to volunteer. So, so as that comes up, I will let you know. The Birds Harbor Park Board would like to recommend that Margaret Detour be appointed to fill the open board position.
That would be filling Carrie Morgan's spot?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What was her name, I'm sorry?
Margaret Detour. Detour.
T-O-U-R.
T-O-U-R, sorry. That makes sense now. I will make a motion to appoint Margaret Detour to the park board.
Second.
Roll call, please. Councilwoman Bozak,
Yes.
Councilwoman Draves.
Yes.
Councilman McGrath,
Yes.
Councilwoman McGrath.
Yes.
And it's, that's all I have. If anybody
Oh,
has
it
any
sure is.
questions.
Oh.
What's
Sorry.
wrong?
We just realized that her
We're
name
writing
is
her
typed
name and
out.
it's typed out on
We
the.
all wrote it.
Sorry.
We just kept reading. Thank you.
I didn't see it on the agenda, that's why.
It's on the back, it's on the
We had
back.
to flip over, that's when we found it.
Oh, it's on your.
In green.
Yeah, we have our,
It's on
yeah,
your- Okay.
ours has open board seats and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. RC.
RDC, we had a 20-minute meeting today, it was fabulous.
Yeah, I already failed at my 20-minute meeting.
We tried,
Just
we tried. Tonight at the RDC meeting, we awarded the environmental contract to SEH for phase 1B. We also awarded Avon Marsh the design and engineering and construction oversight contract. The weather's getting good, so we're building trails. It's gonna be great. We're still figuring out what we're gonna do when we get back over by that MS bridge, but we're gonna figure it out.
When did they start the project?
I don't know, I have not, there was, last time we talked to Shirley Hines on it, there was a delay. There was some sort of delay to where it needed a reconfiguration of the people that were applying for the grant. I think that's all I have for RDC.
Good job. Thanks. Correspondence, we have nothing listed. Resolution 2024-1, amending resolution 2023-23, the 2024 salary and wages. Basically, we're adding a deputy chief, fire chief position. That way we can pay him.
I will make a motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please. Councilwoman Bozak,
Yes.
Councilwoman Draves.
Yes.
Councilman McGrath,
Yes.
Councilwoman McGrath.
Ryan, could you please text me or email me his contact information, because I don't have that, just so I can have it in case I.
For when I say culprit.
He's like, ignorant.
It's my off day, right? New business. We have a staff anniversary, Brandon, 3 years.
And let's do gold watch.
Time flies.
So we must be having fun.
Yes. For sure.
2024-02 community crossing matching grant bids. Let's apply. What was asking the council if they want to, if you want to apply, kind of like a task order. So do we need a motion? Emailed on March 6th.
Yeah, I just got email.
I also have a physical copy.
Oh,
If you would like to see.
So what action do we need to take?
yeah. So do we just need to make a motion to approve him to move forward with this?
I know there is a little bit of time. I think, to my understanding, it was just given out to the board to kind of put it on your plate and look it over. But I do believe that you have until April or May.
Date card. So we can see if there's a date on here.
Like it's, I mean, there's a date next to where.
There's a 3/6 up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what's
3/6.
That's when I think they.
That's when we got.
That's a task order.
What's that?
What did you say?
That's when they emailed it to us.
3/6 was when it was emailed to us.
That's the only date that I see.
Right, but if you look at like on the contract itself where the signature is dated.
You're talking there.
Yeah.
It's physically dated on the email.
Don't make agreement with them.
So do we just need to approve to move forward, Clay?
I think we need to look at this a little further.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know how much you think they might spend, how much time they would spend, but if they have it here, they will provide the services hourly bill not to exceed $120,000. So I don't know what, this wasn't sent to me, so the application, they're gonna bill you $120,000 to apply for this grant. And it looks like the matching grant requested till 2 million, the grant amount of 1.5, and the town will be responsible for 500, so basically you'd be spending 120,000 to hopefully get 1.5 million, but there's no guarantee that you would get that.
And that 120,000 doesn't come out of our portion or anything? Like, you know, it's not like a deposit you get back later?
I don't know
I
if that
think we
would,
need to further evaluate this, talk to.
Can we table this for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get together with this.
and you have to make sure you have an engineer here to explain it.
Yeah,
Yes.
Shem's not on
Okay.
that.
Nope.
No, okay. Great, trash fee procedure for demolished homes. How does council want to handle? Is it to not charge them anymore, like, can we just not mail them or give them a book? I don't know.
Well, the books are mailed out at the beginning of the year. So I think the issue, I believe the town elements now, every existing address has to be billed for trash collection. So I believe that is actually written into an ordinance.
Nicole, remind me, what's when there's new construction, is it when there's an occupancy permit?
Yes.
So similarly to billing starting when there's an occupancy permit, if a home is demolished, there's no potential to occupy. So
That should we felt the same way.
But yeah, like I said, I believe it's written up in ordinance right now, so that is what potentially.
So we would need to change
that
the ordinance.
I guess we'll come back to that in April too and see if we need it.
Do you know what section of code is that under garbage and refuse of 5? Five, 8, I'm just trying to see what if we had something
Yeah.
that talked about occupancy permit.
Presently, we're getting billed from the recycling or the trash company for those addresses right now, so we need to act on this.
I believe so, yes.
And as we need to look in the ordinance to see if there's a way that we can.
Yeah, I mean, there shall be added a sewage coupon book for the service of providing garbage pickup and disposal to all single-family residences, mobile home units, or premises consisting of 4 or less separate residential units in the town.
Something needs to be added if property is vacated or abandoned.
Well, it's not a single-family residence anymore if it's been demolished.
Right.
So I wouldn't think we need to change the ordinance for that if that's.
If there's not a home there, it's
Yeah.
just,
It's hard.
it's gone.
Yeah,
So Nicole, is this something for us to pay the waste hauler, or is this for what our internal purposes of billing?
That I'd have to double check. Like I said, I know I have the ordinances and everything on my keyboard. I don't have them memorized, so.
I mean, I would say let's put this on the next month
Okay.
if you wanna
Yeah.
let us know, but if this is, I don't know if this is something that needs to be fixed, or we just need to kind of zero in on the language within the code. Read into it the fact that if it's been demolished, it's no longer a single family residence.
How would we find out, if we told Republic that we, have X amount of homes, like how does the Republic bill get adjusted if we quit charging for that address?
I believe they have came out and done a house count as well,
Mm-hmm.
so
Do they
We
do
would
an
have-
actual house count, or do they do like
an
a?
address, that's how.
Well,
the trailer
where does the
parks go.
bin go? If there's no house there, there's
Right,
no
so I
bin
think
for
if
them
we-
to physically pick
But
up.
I
Right.
wonder if we can call them and tell them we've had 2 houses torn down.
And they need to
So
pick
they
up the
need to
bins,
def-
because the bins are still there at the
Yeah, so they
location.
can come and collect them.
I think that would be the way
If
to.
they drop them off, they should come and collect them and
Right.
say,
Yeah, we just have to look at what the current contract states, because under section 5(8)(b), garbage pickup and disposal service, including recycling, to be provided shall be done by contract on an annual basis or upon any other time interval deemed appropriate by the town council to an outside entity that as a regular part of its business performs the task of garbage pickup and disposal, including recycling pickup. So it doesn't, there's nothing in the town code that talks about informing the waste hauler of the fluctuation in properties he served. So we just need to move the contract.
How the numbers come up together, how they come up with their, take into account.
Yeah, so it'd be like, at the beginning of the year, like this, that, you can't change the house till the next year.
Yeah. We can reach out to them. See too. what they say. Alright, creating a public works department, Dan and Kurt, I don't know if you guys.
So Kurt had sent me an email a month or so back, on some things that he found in code as far as job descriptions go. Since that time, I have not made contact with Kurt to continue to work on the project. So I guess I'm going to ask Jack, do you have time to work with me
Absolutely.
on this project? And maybe Brandon, if you have some time to help us, you know, we've talked about this a few times with creating a public works department. I feel like we need to move, you know, as quick as we can to figure out what we wanna do, but I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. I have no clue where to even begin to start doing it. I mean, we will need to look at what, you know, what are they doing? They have public Porter, the town of Porter is Public Works and Chesterton is Public Works. So, you know, first maybe looking at how they have things set up and then going from there to figure out how to move everything around and set it up. I know there's changes of ordinances that need to happen and things like that, but I think before we even get to that step, we need to figure out what it is that we're going to do, you know, where the, before we can even start to figure out, you know, what all the those job descriptions need to be, who's, you know, where do we start from the top and how does it move down from there? All those sort of things. You know, whoever else wants to, you know, jump in and help, I appreciate Jack's help on that. If Kurt makes contact back, you know, maybe the two of you can work on.
Well, if you could forward what he sent you, so that I
Yes.
can review that.
Yes,
And,
I just think
and
that,
we'll
yeah.
Put you into the loop too.
Yeah, and you know, I'm happy to step in and help with it, but I just cannot lead on that because my plate is just really full at this time. But I realize the importance of it, so whatever we have to do to work around it to make it work.
Okay.
Thank you.
Approval of February 2024 financial report.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Bozak,
Yes.
Councilwoman Drapes,
Yes.
Councilman McGrath,
Yes,
Councilwoman McCarthy.
Yes. Approval to pay vouchers with 3 or more signatures.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Bozak,
Yes.
Councilwoman Drapes,
Yes.
Councilman McGrath,
yes,
Councilwoman McCarthy.
Abstain. Approval of purchase orders submitted with 3 or more signatures.
so moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Roll call please. Councilwoman Bozak,
Yes.
Councilwoman Drapes,
Yes.
Councilman McGrath,
Yes,
Councilwoman McCarthy.
Abstain. Old business, town complex generator status.
I actually talked with Ryan about that, I asked him because they were reaching out to him to let him know when I actually came by the day that they installed the transfer switch and asked him when they're putting in the generator, he says the next day originally, but then he said there's some parts missing. And I questioned why we're finding this out at the last minute, and I heard no word, Ryan had heard no word, and I actually contacted him and he said that he had.
I had a text, he canceled the date we had lined up in time to come put the transfer switch on the firehouse. And he said, we'll have to reschedule it at a different time, and that was the last I heard.
Have we paid him anything yet?
I
don't
don't
believe
believe
so.
so.
I think we-
I know.
We move forward, but we have not.
Yeah, I think they sent us a bill.
We didn't, so remember Jane said that they wanted us to pay it by the end of the year, but she said we couldn't pay it by the end of the year because we physically did not have the generator.
Right.
So I reached out to my president, who I know, and he said it was going to be put into motion because the following day they were supposed to set up whatever portion of it. So I will reach back out to him
Okay.
and I'll let you know.
I think the important thing is we shouldn't have multiple people contacting this business, we should, so.
One person,
Yeah.
so Lisa, I guess.
I'll send another
So you can
message.
contact.
Alright. Police 77 pension plan.
All the ordinances.
Yeah, so there's 2 ordinances that were drafted. Clay reviewed them, had some suggestions, we fixed those. Those are what you now have. The question is how we get it done. I mean, obviously, there's gonna be a time crunch because April 24th is when the quote expires. Our next meeting is April 10th. So,
Your next meeting is April 10th, but if you have a special meeting to approve this ambulance, if you wanna set that meeting in, but the thing is, you need to advertise.
10 days, right? So if we can get a date.
Well,
set
soon,
for
yeah,
that,
as soon as we
and
get the
then-
date for that, could you just
Hopefully we can
tack it
coordinate
on
it.
to that?
the only clarification I'll need, I guess, I thought I read something where an ordinance couldn't be, the first reading couldn't be in special meeting, but I'll have to look at that. So, the only other,
Alternatively, you could have the first reading on April 10th, and if for some reason you did not suspend the rules, or there wasn't unanimous approval to suspend the rules and approve on second reading on April 10th, you could schedule it for the next week.
so I guess for my clarification, when an ordinance has to be advertised prior to the meeting, is it just advertised prior to the first meeting? Or does it have to be advertised 10 days prior to each meeting?
I believe just the first,
Okay. So then,
but you have to have a public hearing,
Do we have to advertise that for this meeting?
don't you, isn't that what the issue was?
right, so we need to advertise this, obviously, 10 days prior to this
But we
meeting
need to advert just 48 hours.
for the public hearing for the ordinance.
I think it's 10 days.
So I guess my question was, well, we either on the special meeting ad, I mean, I guess I just don't know what the direction is. It's just, we're obviously spending money to do this and everything else, and I don't wanna come up short at the end just because of delays and things of that nature.
What do we need to do?
I mean, if we have the time to weigh those options at the next meeting, so be it. But if not, do we need to already have?
What do we need to do to suspend the rules and have a second reading in the April?
After you have the ordinance passed, then a motion needs to be made to suspend the rules. That has to be unanimous.
But I can't.
But
So-
I think you can, because that motion to suspend the rules has no financial, direct financial implication. And then you could have a second vote that same night. The issue is if you don't have the unanimous votes to suspend the rules.
So I don't know if
It's
Indiana.
not something that we can,
I was just gonna add, I don't know if Indiana code differs, but our town code says these rules may be temporarily suspended by the consent of 2/3 of the town council present and not otherwise a fractional number shall be considered as the next highest number.
What code section is that, town code section?
So that's gonna be under section 2-6J.
I read that somewhere too. Well, 'cause that was the date.
By the consent of 2/3 of the town council.
We're trying to figure out what we were trying to do with that.
Yeah, and if you look at K, 2-6K, a majority of the committee may approve an ordinance referred to it before it is submitted to the committee chair. Ordinances may be passed by the town council after discussion is concluded. A motion for passage is made and seconded, and a vote of not less than 3 council members in support of the ordinance is recorded. No ordinance may be passed at the same meeting it is introduced unless suspension of rules, and then only in cases where they're present and voting at least 2/3 of all the elected council members of the town council. A fractional number shall be considered the highest number. It shall require a majority vote of all elected council members to pass an ordinance, so. I think you put it down based on this without the unanimous. I guess my suggestion is advertise it for April 10th, if that's that Wednesday, second Wednesday.
Okay. So in addition to that, there's several documents that need to be delivered to InPers prior to that. There are things that need to be signed that they need at least 30 days prior to this proposed move, which include the membership applications, which need to be signed by a representative of the local board, is how they deemed it. A conversation with InPers said, because we do not have a local board present, that the town council could appoint somebody to make those signatures. Because until an ordinance is drafted establishing the Burns Harbor Metropolitan Police Commission Board, we don't technically have a local board.
So do they need it 30 days before the council meeting or 30 days? Before?
30 days before the join date, so like
And that joint date is April what?
April 24th.
So you would need it by the end of next week, essentially.
Right, so basically I'm looking for there's basically several documents that have been provided to the town council as well as you that were provided to me by InPers. It's agreements. So one of them, baseline application for membership, that's basically our physicals. That's showing that we've passed the statewide and that the local board approves those. There's another form, authorized agent designated to perform necessary duties. Employer reporting and maintenance, which I believe is a Jane Jordan thing, along with might be the employer member service purchase, but there's several documents that need to be signed by Jane Jordan and or the town council president, as well as a representative for the local board, which could be any of the council members.
So.
I just need to know who to go to.
So because Jennifer, can she sign as the town council president, or would I need to sign because she would be abstaining? Jeremy already looked it up.
So per InPers, it has got to be done on this specific document. It has got to be the president of the town council, regardless.
That's what I would say. I would say one of the other three of you on the council that's present here tonight should be designee for this.
For all the other, there's only one specific spot where it has to be the town council president. The other spots are a member of the local board, which in my mind would be somebody that's probably gonna be on my police commission board, depending on how you guys decide to make that up, but Roseanne Bozak being my current liaison, I mean, that would be my suggestion if that means anything. And then other than that, like I said, there's two other documents that have to go to the clerk treasurer that need to be prepared. It's basically authorization, her controlling the pension fund, and another document similar as the authorized designee, which by Indiana code is obligated based on our size of our town, because I believe we're considered a third class city or less, however they deem that it has to be the clerk treasurer. So. Which she's that current contact now through our regular perf, it would just be, because obviously this is gonna change things for her.
Okay. Do I make a motion that I will sign the documents for you? Is that like a good enough motion? I don't know how to word it.
Second.
Make it for myself, but okay.
I would just, if you could add potentially Jennifer as well as Jane Jordan to complete the required documents for,
Okay,
I guess, in person.
I will add for the clerk treasurer and the town council president to also be able to sign the documents that are needed.
Second.
Any other discussion?
Roll call please. Councilwoman Bozak,
Yes.
Councilwoman Draves.
Yes.
Councilman McGrath,
Yes.
Councilwoman Carr.
Yes. Okay. I'm looking at Clay like, yes. Okay. You should have my back. Anything else?
So, Kurt Jordan, he's not here, but he had brought up something in the last meeting. One of his concerns was the added cost paying board members for the Metropolitan Police Commissioners. Just wanted to touch bases. I know Roseanne will be super excited about this, but per Indiana code, town council members, if they're gonna serve in that seat, cannot be paid. So that would not be an added expense.
Sorry.
So just letting you know that that is in the ordinance. I wanted to make sure that you're very clear on that. And then I guess my other thing would be, you guys might want to start thinking about this too, because if this happens in April, start to consider who would be those 3 people that you would put on that board. Obviously, it would need to be a mix.
It has to be
It can't be all 3 from
a
one party.
resident.
Yes. All 3 have to be residents.
Yeah, they can all currently be town council members, or they could be residents. That would be your choice, but it has to be, it cannot be 3 Republicans or 3 Democrats. It has to be a mix.
Be 2 Democrats, 1 Republican.
Yes.
Vice versa, okay.
Yes. And then,
It just can't be 3 of the same party. It could be
Okay.
yeah,
an independent, libertarian, third party.
Okay.
all the other things are outlined in that specific ordinance, and then. The 1977 Fund Pension Board, which is the other ordinance that's in there, it's very clear on who has to be on that board, to read that ordinance, so. That's all I got for now.
You know?
I'm done for the day.
Okay, I talked to, currently speaking with Tony Shields, and he said he will talk to the foreman tomorrow. Parts are hard to get right now, but he would have thought that all the parts would be there, so he will let me know tomorrow.
Just the generator.
Yes,
Just
sorry.
for the minutes. Okay. All right, 2024 fire service contract, Lisa and I met with Brian and Adam. Fourth. We've had some discussion. It's a delay on my part now. I have not gotten them. I have not revised the contract of things that we've talked about. I've talked to him in person about it, but not actually put it in there. So I just need a few more days, I'm sorry, I'm gonna take the blame on this one. So can we move that to April as well? Yes, fill open positions.
When we're talking about this part-time cleaning staff, just to, because it's listed on here as filling these open positions and everything. I think, Jack, that this is something that when we're talking about this public works, that we need to think about a janitor/maintenance position to cover this and do it in-house. The quotes that you got, not that they were bad quotes or bad company, I appreciate all the work that you did in getting them. I just, and maybe it's my personal feelings on it, is I feel that if we're going to pay that amount of money, we might as well keep it in-house.
The only thing I have to say to that is I researched as much as I could on it. To put somebody here, part-time, it would cost about the same amount of money. With everybody that I've talked to, finding somebody who would fill that position, I think we're gonna be, I would like to just, at this point, we've got an election coming up again, and we're gonna be using this building, we've already had problems with the bathrooms and stuff and so forth. Just saying, I would rather go the route of using this temporarily until we can find something. Right now, it's being put on all our employees, especially a lot of the department heads are cleaning these buildings and taking care of them, and they've got enough on their plate. To find an employee, we're looking down the road here to do that. We've been talking and discussing this for a few months. I researched, actually, I reached out and found out that there were 2 other companies that had put in bids last year. I didn't know that, again, with what the old council did. And we actually hired somebody. They worked with the town, but they said that they had problems getting paid. I was told the other way around, that they never did. So I actually spoke to the company today, the owner of the company, he told me that, yeah, they could not get an invoice paid, and that's why they resigned from doing work here. And there was,
There's rules to,
Right.
there's rules to the way that the invoice.
and when I talked to Jane, she said that they never submitted an invoice, so there was,
I don't
again,
even think we even got that far to get an invoice, we never even got a contract signed. As far as I'm
well,
aware.
she said they actually worked here, they were doing work in this building. There was something signed and they agreed, and then when
And
they,
what cleaning company is that?
that was the original cleaning company that was. Two companies that were notified before was Performance Plus, but the company that said that they were actually doing work here was Green Up to Clean Up. and they prepared a contract back in February 1st of 2023. I don't have the signed agreement with them. She was looking for that, but she said they actually came in here and started doing work. And they did the work for a month, and then they needed a point of contact, and that was the problem. They couldn't get a point of contact. And that point of contact is when they do the cleaning, they say, okay, cleaning's been done, please, here's our invoice, please approve it for payment. Doesn't mean that it has to be paid that day. There was a breakout of when it had to be paid. And that's how this, even Communicable Services that I've got the contract that you all ever sent, said the same thing, that when he comes and does the cleaning, he submits, it would be a point of contact, whether that would be the deputy clerk or somebody here that has to do with the fiduciary. She would click, yes, the work has been done, your invoice is being put into the system and it will be paid within 30 days. And that's all they're asking. They said, and like I said, she's gonna send me the agreement and let you know on that. But going forward, I just think we've been talking about this for months here, and we've got people in this, department heads that are cleaning places, and to find somebody, if we had somebody that was interested in the position, I'd be all for it. But right now, at least we've got somebody that, let's try it for 6 months. If it doesn't work, throw it out the door.
If we move to a public works though, what would we do with said contract?
Well, I don't think we're gonna get public works in here within 6 months. I mean, there's a lot of things that need to be worked out. I mean, we're working towards that. And that would be a reason to eliminate, if we do that, and part of that position would be, it's still putting it on to somebody here somebody being hired to handle cleaning, whether it be a part-time person or a cleaning company. My bottom line is that I think we've put enough on all the employees here at the town. I think it's time we at least put something into place that eliminates, get these buildings cleaned up so they can go forward. That's all I'm asking.
How much did we pay before?
It was, according to Jane, we were paying $1,200 a year, a month for cleaning services.
How many cleaning services for the month was that? Like, what was how often were the cleaning people here?
Once a week.
For
This is once a
$1,200
week,
a
right?
month, they were here once a week,
$1,200,
for
and they
how
were here
many
once a week.
hours?
And yeah, actually, it's for this one here says. Doesn't say, but that's what I was told by Jane.
Yeah.
Verbally, I did
Yeah.
not see an actual contract, and that's what I said I was looking for. I was surprised when I talked to this person, they actually said they worked for the town.
Are they claiming that they are still owed money?
No. That, they did not bring that up. All she said is that they dropped out of it. And even when I reached out to them now, I got an email back from them stating they will not come and work for the town because of the issues they had the last time trying to get going through the process. Apparently they.
All I'll say is sometimes my payments are 2 months behind. That's just how, when you're working for government, that's how it works sometimes.
Right. And that needs to be into and that's what I would recommend if we do go through with this proposal that I sent you, that it would be in the documents when I talked to Jane, that the payments will be put out as quick as possible, 30 days, but again, working, as Clay said, there might be times that it's pushed out, and as long as they're acceptable to that, at least try it out. I mean, as long as we have an open end where we can get out of something without it costing us anything, at least it's lifting the,
So it's not
What
a,
does this company want to charge us?
I didn't print out this one.
Sorry.
It was a copy of the,
I wanna say, wasn't it 17?
I sent it to
I feel
everybody
like it was
on,
really high.
sorry about this, people.
For 4 days?
Hmm?
For 4 days? 1,700? I'm gonna give you guys a
Ryan's like Ryan's cleaning service.
Listen, I'll undercut you for 1,600.
Just for clarification, the green up to clean up, the one that he's talking about, the contract that we were working on, that whether or not it ever got completed, was annually $6,680 to do all the work.
Annually.
Yes.
6680.
Yes, it was $556.67 for each month for the next 12 months. And that was based on 1 time per week.
And that, we didn't,
That was the one that we could never get through the contract agreements. That's the one
Yeah, I
that
say,
they,
only we made it.
while we went back and forth with the contracts, the contract was,
that was one of the ones that wanted all-
they decided they were no longer interested in providing service to our town.
Yes. there's a lot of, to work for us because we're government,
Right.
and there's a lot of hoops that they have to jump through.
Depending on like meeting dates and things like that, you guys can't approve stuff and necessarily get a 30-day payment out each time, because if they bill us on the 15th, but our council meeting's on the 11th, they're not gonna get approved to get paid until the following
That's
meeting.
why they just are asking for a point of contact.
So this new cleaning service that you brought to us, they're asking for 1532.25 a month? Is that what I'm?
1532.25, and it looks like that's for. Am I reading this right, Jack? That's for 4 hours.
Pull it up right now.
4 hours at $325.
Oh my gosh, I actually should have- It looks like, yeah, for
Yeah,
is quantity 4 days?
I don't know if it's 4 days or 4 hours. What is the
It's
quantity?
4 times a month, once a week,
But how many hours per time they come?
whatever it takes.
Whatever it
There
takes
was
to
a
do all the
descriptive-
things
It was a
below.
descriptive of what they're going to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
It's in the proposal of what they're going to do each time they come and clean. And to do that, it would cost,
Someone has to be here though, correct? It can't be done.
well, that was, they can, I mean, yes, they will work, that's what they want, a point of contact, somebody that they could contact and say, okay, work it out with, I mean, as far as the police chief goes, he absolutely needs to have somebody there when they do the police department. As far as the clerk's office goes, the general area can be cleaned, the town hall can be cleaned.
And it's like water.
But the only thing that can't be would be like, if somebody needs to clean Jane's office, they would have to coordinate with Jane when she's gonna be here, so they
I'm
can.
not crying, it's my eyes watering, I don't know, it's like burning, I don't.
Why'd you poke your eye out for?
And they're willing to work with us on that. And like I said, if bottom line, if it does, I mean, I would have him make sure, yeah, it's $1532. $1,532.25.
So, and how, if we go into the contract with them, and
Are they
is
working?
it a month by month, or?
Yeah, what is
or
the
we
least
sign up
amount of
for-
contract they will go into?
I can ask them that. I don't have the answer to that question. I'm just asking that we can go forward in pursuing that. Give me the permission to, and then I'll send the council.
I don't wanna go into a yearly contract.
No,
No,
I agree.
Stuck in
I
it.
would wanna try a 6-month period. And by then, we'll hopefully have some answers on what we're doing with the public works and what we're doing, trying to find an employee to take the place of that. That's all I'm asking the council for.
Sorry. It's how much more than what we were paying before?
Like I said, $1,200, it went up approximately $300 in a year span.
They bring all their own cleaning supplies.
Correct, I mean, toilet paper and stuff they don't, but as far as cleaning and mopping the floors and all that, they bring all that equipment with them, yes.
How big is the
Oh,
group?
thank you so much.
2 people,
Just 2 people?
2 people. Sure.
I heard all that.
And they're out of Gary, Indiana, so they're not.
I'm not up here crying.
So
guys,
you
sorry.
want, you just want permission to ask some more questions, or what is it that you want from you?
Well, I'd like to get something and going forward, I'd like to maybe, yeah, if whatever. It's been going forward for like over a year, I
Oh,
guess.
I know.
There hasn't been any. That's what I mean, it's time to, you know, we at least get somebody going for a 6-month trial period based on making sure that we cover making the point of contact person, payments, and being able to only a 6-month period, giving them authorization for a 6-month period. If we can get all of these other items, the point of contact, the payments, and which point of contact is set up, how they're gonna do that. If I can get that clarified through the council, just giving me permission to
And this is for communal services 8.
correct.
So you want to move forward and have them prepare a contract for the council to look at and discuss further at the next meeting.
For 6 months.
for 6 months.
So basically, we have to look at the contract next
Maybe
meeting.
like 9,000
Yeah, before.
for
Well, I'm
six
gonna
months.
to the council before next meeting and then we can approve it next meeting. But at least I would actually like, well, I guess we can't.
Okay, I don't know that, we don't need a motion for that, do we? We just can move forward and bring it on.
Unless you're signing the contract.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have a contract, so.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought Jack did, I'm sorry.
Well, I gave a contract,
I wasn't on the email, so I didn't know if you would email the contract.
yeah, I did email a contract.
So there is a contract.
There is a contract, but it doesn't specifically state about payments.
Or timeframe.
Or timeframe.
like,
It does say,
or length.
yeah, it does say once.
Well, this is just an estimate, this isn't the contract, so the contract is what we would need to read, and we have all the legal, when they're coming, what their responsibilities, insurance, all, you know, all of
So,
those.
yeah.
Are they bonded and insured?
Yes, oh, yeah.
And
Yeah,
that,
that's all
that's
good.
the document, so this is the estimate, so the next step would be for them to prepare,
Mhm.
you know, to
A
prepare the
formal,
formal
yeah.
contract for us to review. Cause we would have to review that, you know, Clay would have to look over that.
And you might tell them
Contract
that, you know, any payment within 30 days, that's probably cutting it too close because 45 days will agree to contracts and payments are made, so I would say payment within maybe 45 or 60 days, that's the middle.
So we're going to postpone this for a month to get the contract and.
Yeah, so as soon as you can get that, because Clay will need to have time to look over that contract to make sure that, you know, we even need to look at it any further, you know, that they follow within all the parameters that we have to follow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alright, good order. I'm just gonna go ahead and start in a few things. How's the fire chief position going?
He's okay.
He's here. He hasn't run away.
You're
Did they
blurry,
contact you
blurry
about the
for me, I can
calendar
barely
yet?
see you right now, but.
It's had its moments, it's been trying, I'm learning a lot that I wasn't aware of before, and it's been an adjustment, but it's been, I don't have any complaints other than it's a little more time consuming than I expected.
Like, are you ready to run away or?
I can tell you, it gets easier, but you just lying to you.
I do wanna talk about our pension.
Well, 3-hour meeting.
Table that one too.
Right, we're gonna table that one to like
So,
August.
I would like to move forward, I mean, depending on my council members, removing your interim title. Uh-oh, he's like, where's the exit at?
I mean, you can still quit.
I mean, we can,
Wow. Hey, if he is not locked in, you
I mean,
gotta.
if you wanna keep it, you can keep it.
No, by all means, it'd be fantastic.
I need a motion.
I'm gonna make a motion to remove the interim title and move him to the fire chief.
I will second that.
Any discussion? Roll call please.
Councilwoman Bozak,
Yes.
Councilwoman Draves,
Yes.
Councilman McGraw,
Yes.
Councilwoman McCall.
Yes.
Tomorrow morning.
Not at 6:30.
And then one other thing, I don't know if everybody's got to meet Mike Cucciotto, who's a street department employee. I wanna send out condolences to his family. He lost his father a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago maybe. So we sent out our condolences to
He was
him.
very appreciative of getting stuff together.
So if he needs anything, let us know. That's all I had.
I've just got one thing I wanna bring up. I know everybody this Tuesday was woken up by wonderful alarms and phones and everything going off with the weather service sending out our wonderful season of tornadoes coming in. And also the Indiana governor has announced that March 11th to March 16th is safety week or safety preparedness. In speaking with the chief of police and chief of fire and some of the department heads in our town, I found out that we do not have any safety protocol. So I'd like to put effort together to put a group of, or a team together that would be interested in working together to create a safety program for our town employees and for our residents. This should include but not limited to plans for evacuation and safe places and buildings to go in an emergency. I'd also recommend that we look into the AED system. We have, right now, I talked with the chief of fire, and we have an AED here in the town building. We also have 4 AEDs in the fire department, and there's 1 AED at the park district. Knowing that, and also being a retired fireman, I'm concerned that nobody's really educated on how to use these, and probably would be scared to death to pick one up and use it. And I would like to put something together with the safety program that we would initiate within the town here for our employees, and also offer it out to the residents for people that want to get certified under CPR or whatever through the fire department. The chief says that he has people that are certified, can give classes at the fire department. The only cost would be $25 for somebody.
I believe.
You don't believe it, right? We need to check on that. But my point being is that I think it's something for the safety of this town. And the other thing is that we no longer have an ambulance in this town. And to respond on calls right now, the police department is usually first on call, and none of the vehicles have an AED in them. So at this point, we don't have the money to purchase, or, I mean, I know, and I'm looking into, that's part of what this whole process is to looking into the cost of purchasing other AEDs to replace one in the building department. And also, I think at this point, though, I'd like to see if we could find one of them that we have at the fire department and put them in rotation, so that the police, whoever is on duty and on in the car, has an AED in his car, because they're the first responders that are going to these calls. But again, putting them in a position of having a piece of equipment that nobody's ever operated, having a class and getting it to where we can get all the employees and this department heads of this town, and also open it up to the residents that would be interested in learning a little bit about it, and having them know that we do have this at our buildings and in our police cars for
Brian,
response.
does the county health department provide that? Like, you know, they have their vehicle that goes around to different events and
The one that comes from the hospital.
it's the newer one that
There's
the
been-
health department just got. I'm maybe it would be somewhere to follow up with, because if the county offers something like that, I can't think of what is the mobile unit that the health department just got. And I know they like go around, they do like mobile STD testing and like different sites and different stuff like that. But I know that the health department was the county was moving towards utilizing that for different types of training. So maybe getting in touch with the health department,
Yeah,
that they would have.
David actually reached out to Tina while she was here and asking me about grants. There's actually, and I believe Jeremy had also mentioned to me that there might be some grants out there that we could pursue, especially for a small town like us. We don't, you know, we're small in numbers, and and she says, yeah, she knew about companies. She's actually gonna research it. That's part of all what this is. I mean, this is just the beginning of it, but I just wanted to get it initiated and get the town council's approval to go ahead with something like this and get this information out and try and help educate not only our residents, but also our department heads and get the fire department. So we're all kind of working as a team, put the team this effort. And one last thing I had is we also have a flash strip sign we're using right now. One that the street department has, that we can put information on there.
Oh, yeah.
I think we should be using that to advertise, once we get this program in place, to put that out there, as well as I think we should start advertising when the meetings are. Put that up here in front, at the beginning of the month.
Where's the sign?
I was just gonna say, should I put something out for Easter?
Yes,
There you go.
please do.
So I'll do that tomorrow. I mean, like I said, the message sign is available at any time if any of you guys need.
Yeah,
something.
We were
Advertise
doing
the-
really good about trying to use it.
Yeah, let me know
Yeah.
location, let me know, it can only do so much with reading, you know, but
But that would be a good thing for the Easter thing.
Let's start with the east.
where would you
Easter egg
like
hunt.
it?
Yes.
We could just do this right now, so we're not, you know.
Well,
Well,
placement can't be up on the front. When I spoke with, I forgot who I spoke with, Bernie or somebody, they said that when we tried to put it up by where the pizza place was at on the corner there, IDOT said we can't put it on their property. It has to be back on, so we have to get permission
Who did
from.
they contact about that?
I don't, I'm just in conversation, this is all in conversations.
I didn't know that
But
was the
I mean,
rule,
maybe
and
we
is
can
it
use
somebody that's just.
But I-
is that
it
different
doesn't-
than per point though?
At least right now, if we can put it out here, eventually, again, what I'm looking for is possibly going through and another thing that I would like to put up is right where the police signs at, is eventually looking into the cost of putting a sign permanently up there that we could advertise information when meetings are, when stuff like that is. I mean, and with all the sign companies we have in town, hopefully somebody would come up and look at, God, I mean, it's not like this town's got money to burn. I just think these are important things, and trying to get the residents to know that there's a town council out here that's working for them and getting things out. I've had many people coming up to me and keep asking me when the town council, and I said it's on the website.
And it's on the
Nobody goes
website.
to the website, nobody goes to our site. We need to.
And we're
get
not
into-
mailing anything, so
Yeah.
it's too expensive to
Way
mail
too
stuff.
expensive
Well-
to mail stuff.
Constantly.
A lot of people don't go on the internet, a lot of elders.
So, I mean, the signage would be one way to do it, but I think right now, at least going forward, that's something that's already here. It's just a matter of us saying, hey, Brandon,
use it
let's
for
put
now.
that out there, put these straight on, and then going forward, the meetings, when they're up, at least 2 weeks before the meeting, that sign's out there saying town council meeting or RDC meeting.
Yeah, I think we should move towards, figuring out a schedule of, we're gonna come to the meeting in April, so you have something between the April meeting and the May meeting that you want on the sign, maybe you have something, maybe Chuck has something, and let's, bring those things to the meetings that would be the schedule.
Yeah,
Schedule, so that,
You also
Brandon, this
gotta
week,
remember wherever you place it, you can only read so much as you're passing,
right,
so.
so don't type as long-winded as I speak.
So yeah, I'll put some on Easter tomorrow in
That's
the
just-
Westport, Agwin area, so at least you're driving down 149,
You'll see it.
north, you can at least have a little bit of time to read it as you're going this way or
Yeah.
that way.
Thank you.
I'll do that tomorrow.
Okay, that's all I had, thank you.
Okay, on that note, I wanted to tell you that, I know, rest of the council, it's gonna come up again. The AEDs that we currently have everywhere, the FDA will not be approving them for use in 2027.
So we have to
So
get
we're gonna
all
have to
new
replace
AEDs.
a lot of AEDs.
Like, and that's all of our town ones, do you know? Yep.
They're all the same brand.
Yeah.
Because something is not,
Something's either changing with function on newer models or something to do with how, like what their requirements are gonna be, whether the same pads can be used for infants and adults, and there's a lot to do with this. I'm researching that, I don't know why, but I'm doing the research.
At this point, though, I had spoken with the police chief, and he said he would work something out if we could get one AED to be put into the police cars going forward at this point.
how many do we currently have? then?
Six,
Six?
For the whole town? That's it?
and 4 of them are in my firehouse.
So if you remember, maybe we need to think about when we're ready for budget for next year, replacing 2 of them already next year.
Just like
Start
started.
it.
Just get
Sprinkle in
started
a
the
couple
process, so
every
that way we're
year.
not like 6. I mean, I know that they're pricey, but they're not
I really,
super pricey,
I really
but.
wanna do the research on finding out why these are gonna be
Mhm.
banned from use
Are they gonna
first,
offer an
because
alternative, like, can you buy,
it's,
yeah,
and then that, I'm not sure if it's because they want them to be able to do a certain function that none of the current ones have. When I just purchased the batteries we signed an appeal for, which by the way, all of my AEDs are back in use, are back in service. I mean, one of them was used this morning. The guy I was purchasing the batteries from told me about this, but he couldn't tell me why, so I was trying to dig deeper, I'm trying to do that. But the regulations change on them all the time. CPR, everything changes, it's a nonstop rotation of theories and ideas, and I'm just not sure.
How long are they good for? Like, or do they have like a shelf life?
Well, the
or-
batteries last 4 to 5 years. We just replaced batteries that came up on 4 years. Because these units are constantly showing their battery status, it's using battery to do that. So they constantly are killing themselves.
Yeah, I just wonder if it's something, if it has a shelf life, if it's something that we should start thinking about
The pads have.
rotating out every year,
Yeah, the pads expire,
Yeah,
the batteries run dead, they're non-rechargeable.
Should you,
And programming.
swing by and check the parks?
Yeah.
Okay.
And If, I don't even know where yours is
It's
located.
in the arts and crafts
It's in the
building,
Arts and Crafts building.
right by the
But that
door.
can also be part of our safety program, is, you know,
Yeah.
identifying locations.
You did?
Yes.
So, okay, it's already been done.
I've already-
But these units beep, they have an audible beep when the batteries go bad, or if there's any beep faults, they just start beeping.
Anybody that's
Okay.
not.
So if you ever hear a
Our
weird beep,
firefighters
you're
are
like, hey, that
CPR
might be my
certified, our police officers are CPR certified. But like our secretaries, they're not CPR certified,
you.
so maybe they need education on how to use it.
And actually, speaking with him.
Kids at the park need to know how to use it, like our employees
The
there.
employees, yes.
Not, I mean, lifeguards, they should know,
You
but
should know already.
all the other employees.
And if I'm correct, these items, once you open up the door, it actually speaks to you and tells you what to do,
Yeah.
it actually walks you through. It's just that nobody knows of that, and I think that's the education that I'm trying to get out
It's
here.
intimidating.
That it's intimidating, but if, just like anything else, if people are understanding, at least have an idea of what should or shouldn't be done, which there is no protocol for that, it'll make it a little easier going down the road here for everybody.
So, okay, I do have a question on that, and actually, I believe this is a good idea, as part of this, officially, you're open Memorial Day, correct? That's your first official opening day, correct?
Yes.
Yes, that weekend.
So before Memorial Day weekend is here, can you put your employees through the class?
I will bring this to Kim's attention.
All right, that way.
That's a
it's
good idea.
done
Yeah.
Before the season starts.
With,
I like that.
with the instructors we have, we can line up some dates, preset them, and
Could we just, yeah, could you schedule that?
we can
into
knock
there?
out, I mean, we got the whole firehouse training room to use, there's plenty of seats for everybody we have.
I'm for it. I think everybody, all the street department employees,
Absolutely.
I would like everybody.
Yep.
To go for it.
Another where we're gonna go, we shall know.
So I have the council's permission and go forward with this.
Oh, yeah, you can keep working on it.
Okay, I make a motion to adjourn. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you. Roll call. We're not stuck yet.
Councilmember Bojek. Yes. Councilmember Graves.
Yes.
Councilmember Earl.
Yes.
Councilmember Strange.
Yes.
It's before 9. You for like